Hello Internet and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will show you how to make yourself 3 bases for your tabletop games. In order to be as modular as possible, those bases will be fully magnetized. This way, the bases will be super easy to store, and you will be able to replace the trees by rocks formation, crates, or even miniatures. If you like this idea and you want to support my channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Most of the stuff that you will need for this build can be easily found in a DIY store, but if you need, I have put some direct Amazon link in the description of this video. For the basis itself, you will only need some chipboards. For the magnetized part, I have used some washer, but you could use any piece of metal. And of course, you will need some magnets. For the trees, I have used 1mm magnets in order to be easily able to hide them below the bases. However, if you want to magnetize your miniatures, I will suggest to take 2 or 3mm magnets. Next, you will need some sand and gravel in order to decorate your bases. The next item is not mandatory, but depending on the look you want for your bases, you might want to have some static grass. And finally, you will need some trees. You can buy them already made, or you can make them yourself. If you are interested to see a video on how to make yourself the trees, please let me know in the comments. And of course, if you don't have them already, you will need some crafting tools. For this build, you will need some tacky glue, a hot glue gun, and some paints. For this build, I have only used brown and white paints, but of course you can always adapt the scheme to your preference. The first step is super easy. You will simply take a sheet of chipboard and you will trace on it the shape of the bases. The next step is absolutely not mandatory, but on my side I like to paint the below part of the bases black. I believe it just makes the end result cleaner. Just be extra careful that when the paint is drying, it will tend to bend the chipboard. In order to avoid that, during the drying time, I will simply put some heavy objects on the chipboard. And when you are ready, cut everything. The next step will be to take your glue gun to glue the washer on the bases. For this build, I chose 20mm by 1mm washers. Please be extra careful when gluing the washers because, as the name suggests, the hot glue is really hot. And that's why I'm using this piece of wood to press the washers on the bases. And while your gun is still hot, you can glue the magnet to the 3 bases. Please be careful that some magnets come with a pre-made sticky paper on it, but it's not strong enough for this build. The next step will be to decorate the bases. I will first put a layer of gravels and then a layer of sand. In order to do that, simply put some tacky glue on your bases, but be extra careful to not put any glue on the washers. Otherwise, you might glue some sand or gravel on the washers and it will strongly reduce the strongness of the magnet. When the basis is fully covered in glue, simply apply the sand and the gravel and then let it dry. Once fully dry, this should be your result. The next step is the painting. I will start with 2 coats of brown. Once fully dry, I will highlight the bases by using a dry brushing technique. In order to do that, you will simply have to mix some white in your brown and to remove the excess paint of your brush on a paper towel. The idea now is to only touch the highlight of your bases with your brush and not to go into the recesses. Next, you will need to repeat this step a few times. Each time you will add more and more white in your mix and you will need to go gentler and gentler on your paintbrush. Of course, as soon as you are fine with the result, you can stop this process. Depending on the look you want for your basis, you can stop the process here and you will have a nice earthy basis. On my side, I will use those bases for a D&D session in the forest. In order to achieve this forest look, I will put some tacky glue on the basis and then I will apply some static grass. Then I will leave the basis to dry before reapplying a second layer of static grass if needed. In order to represent the shadows of the trees and also to hide the washer, I will apply a small part of darker static grass. And with this final step, our bases are ready. Now I will apply the same dark static grass to the bases of the trees in order to blend everything together. And here you have the final result. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, don't hesitate to share it with a friend of yours that might be interested, and if you want to support the channel, the best way is to subscribe. Thank you and see you next time.